Aids and Mananasiduastatlu, to all those here, the Committee on Municipal Affairs, Tourism, Housing, Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority will come back from recess. It is about 11:09 right now. I'd like to thank all those in attendance here this morning. We are going to hear bill number 327-32 COR, which is an act relative to amending 12 GCA Section 5135D to place the Gura 500 lot cell fund under the custodialship discretion and purview of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority. I want to note for the record that pursuant to 5 GCA Chapter 8, subsection 8107, ladies and gentlemen, these public hearing notices were sent out on May 8th, 2014, which adheres to the 5-day working days prior to a public hearing, and also a second public hearing notice was sent out on May 13th, 2014, which fulfills the 48 hours prior to the public hearing. I want to note that if there's anyone else in the listening audience who wishes to provide written testimony and could not make it to this morning's hearing, that they can do so by sending it to senator@tinamuñabarnes.com. They can drop it at our office at 155 Hessler Place, Hagatna, Guam, 96932. They can fax it to our number at 472-3455 or 56, or they can mail it at the same address. Okay. That being said, I've fulfilled the requirements. If anybody has a phone on, could you just put it on vibrate mode so that we can be able to listen to our panel members here? I want to thank the Gura chairman for being here, but I understand, I see that also the general manager or the president of the Guam Housing Corporation is also here, Mr. Martin Benavente, and Mr. Michael Duenas, who is the executive director of the Guam Housing Urban Renewal Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have some distinguished members who are also here from Gura. We have board members, Ms. Tori, Mr. Polino, Mr. Salvage, Mr. Ila, Ms. Suda, the deputy director, Mr. Frank Camacho from Gura, and the facilities administrator, Cesar Villanueva. Am I saying that right? Somewhere close, right? From Guam Housing. So we have both, and Albert Santos from Gura is also here. I just want to say that we have both housing agencies or entities here this morning, and we want to thank them for being here to be here for this public hearing. I do also want to note if there's anybody else out in the audience who wishes to provide oral testimony, they can do so by signing up with our staff here to your right, my left, and we'll go ahead and get started. Mr. Sablan, I will go ahead and start with you as you are the chair of Gura.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. And again, I appreciate very much on behalf of Gura this opportunity to provide you with testimony basically in support of this bill for purposes of continuing our programs up there at Gura. Thank you as well for recognizing my colleagues. We were actually in a board meeting this morning, and we decided to recess to come down here all together to show our strong support for this bill. If I may just read my written testimony, Madam Chair. It's very, very brief, so it should not take too long. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, I submit this testimony in support of Bill 327-32, Committee on Rules pertaining to the transfer of custodianship of the Gura 500 lot sale fund to Gura from the Department of Administration. At the heart of our mission is to ensure that Gura provides safe, decent, and affordable housing. Over the past 52 years, Gura has assisted the government of Guam to develop an inventory of sustainable, affordable housing for buyers and renters. As our community's needs have expanded and diversified, so have we to meet our new needs. The Gura of today is instrumental in the development and support of housing opportunities to meet the needs of all of Guam's residents, from emergency housing for the homeless to permanent housing for the low and moderate income home buyer. Gura is funded primarily by federal funds made available to Guam through various programs administered administered by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. These federal funds are the means to accomplishing many of GURA's housing and community development goals. However, we also advocate opportunities to secure non-federal funds to leverage federal funds and to meet GURA's needs not eligible for federal funding. Non-federal funds, such as the GURA 500 funds, will afford GURA the needed flexibility to address its programmatic and operational needs. GURA's current stock of affordable housing is approaching its economic lifespan. The authority's present challenge is one of sustaining the stock of housing constructed in decades past so as to continue to support the housing needs of Guam's populace in decades to come. To sustain also an aging housing stock comes at a cost. And some of the things that we're looking at, hopefully with this fund, if given to us, and to basically manage it, is to improve the living of our people down at Guba Tranquilidad with our seniors, for example. There's a big need for improving the living conditions of our seniors down there, and we're working on that, and part of this funding is going to be allocated to that for your information. The authority has commissioned recent studies to assess the physical needs of the existing housing stock. At issue is how to ensure that the units remain healthy, safe, and sustainable. The physical needs assessment will provide GURA with the understanding and plans necessary to keep its affordable rental housing stock viable in the long term. As the policy arm of GURA, this Board of Commissioners is equipped with the knowledge and authority to provide prudent guidance to accomplish GURA's goals for meeting the housing needs of Guam's low and moderate income population. We have assembled a team of experienced managers to carry out the mandates of the board, leading a staff of dedicated housing and development professionals. We have the honor of continuing the good work of our predecessors, commissioners over the 5 decades, who led GURA, this quiet but effective organization to provide quality services to the people of Guam. With your support of Bill 327-32, Committee on Rules, GURA will be afforded the opportunity to leverage the GURA 500 lot sale funds to continue to meet the programmatic and operational needs of the authority. On behalf of the authority, our sincere thanks to you, Madam Chairperson, and this Committee on Housing for entertaining this legislation on behalf of the people of Guam. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sablan. Mr. Duenas?
Good morning, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Michael Duenas. I am the Executive Director for the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority. I will go ahead and read my prepared testimony then. The Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is pleased to offer its support and insight into this discussion of Bill 327-32, which intends to render custodianship of the GURA 500 lot sale fund to GURA. GURA supports the work of the committee and particularly the intent of Bill 327-32. Custodianship of the GURA 500 lot fund to GURA is fundamentally logical. The authority has been responsible for the development and disposition of the GURA 500 affordable homeownership program for the last 35 years. In this time, owners seeking to refinance their properties for improvement or sale have called upon GURA to satisfy the lease provisions of the law. 89 of the original 500 leases remain outstanding today. Since the inception of this program, GURA has expended an estimated $23 million and collected revenues of $24 million. The balance of the GURA 500 lot fund sale stands at $1.04 million as of March 31st, 2014. A key component of GURA's mission is to ensure that there is an adequate supply of affordable housing in Guam. Custodianship will permit the authority to plan for the timely utilization of these funds for projects and activities in line with GURA's goals. The authority has the financial and operational capacity to continue to manage the GURA 500 fund in line with GURA's mission. In its 52-year history, GURA has contributed to the development of strong, stable neighborhoods throughout Guam. GURA is built upon a solid governance structure beginning with the GURA Board of Commissioners, empowered with the authority to guide executive management and staff in pursuit of its missions. GURA's Board of Commissioners supports the administration's mission of meeting the need for 3,000 additional homes. Our challenge today is not only to continue to develop affordable housing, we must now find ways to sustain the existing stock of affordable housing by exploring ways to finance the rehabilitation of projects developed over the last 50 years. We believe in our ability to continue the good work of affordable housing management at Gura. We maintain an ongoing commitment to build upon our financial and development skills to meet the needs of our business and this community today and into tomorrow. The authority reiterates its support of Bill 327-32 and acknowledges the good work of the committee and the Honorable Chairperson, Senator Muña Barnes. Respectfully submitted for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Dueñas. Mr. Benavente?
Thank you. Good morning and good day, Chairwoman Tina Muña Barnes, and of course the other members that are not here and probably watching me on TV. My name is Martin Benavente, and I fully support Bill 32732. As President of the Guam Housing Corporation and the Executive Officer of the Affordable Housing Council, Coordinating Council, we continue to identify and pursue solutions in realizing our established mission and goals as enumerated in the Affordable Housing 5-Year Strategic Plan. The intent of Bill 32732 will assist GURA in achieving its role in attaining the 3,000 goal of affordable housing. Guam Housing Corporation is taking a lead in presenting several alternative building systems within the next 30 days. It's also our hope that any funding source available will be used to assist in financing these types of structures for the many families who desire home ownership. Thank you so much.
Si Diyos Masi, Mr. Benavente. I do want to note for the record, as we see the successes of working closely with both GORA and Guam Housing and looking at opportunities at this, and Mr. Chair, you've mentioned the need of wanting to move forward in what's in the strategic plan, but the collaboration of both Guam Housing Corporation and Guam Housing Urban Renewal Authority, I think it's very critical and very key as we look at the military buildup and the need for more housing. We know that more people are going to look for houses. More people are going to need, there are going to be more of our families just based on our organic growth and just being able to attain that. The administration through the Affordable Housing Coordinating Council is continuing to look at this. So when the opportunity came to introduce this bill, I just want to say with the support of Guam Housing and you folks continuing to work together, that this would be a win-win. And I want to say that today's hearing date, we hope that if anybody wants to present testimony, they would do so by sending it to our office, emailing it, or texting us, or even faxing it to our office. But I will commit that I will try and get this on the next session agenda that's not budget. So I'm hoping that we meet in May or June before the budget hearing's out, and hoping that this can get on. I know this is not the time for oversights or informational updates, but I'm hoping that with the programs that you have to date, that if there's anything new and exciting that you'd like to present right now, just based on what you both have, I'm willing to listen to it. Just
Sure.
a sneak preview of anything that we can look forward to seeing in the community.
Well, one thing I want to say is that, I very much appreciate, excuse me, the opportunity to actually work with President of Guam Housing Corporation, Martin Benavente. He's been an excellent partner in everything that we do. The fact that he has those responsibilities with the Affordable Housing Council as well as Guam Housing, plus he has the right character to take care of business, so to speak, at Guam Housing. But I just want to say that to him publicly and on the record that we absolutely enjoy working with him and his board and his people at Guam Housing. We've partnered so well with him in actually increasing some of the housing inventory, so I appreciate that very much. We have right now about 2,500 people still on the waiting list under the Section 8 voucher program. We're looking at ways and means to try to increase that voucher number so that we can address those needs. We are also looking, just for your information, at the possibility, or the probability, I should say, of establishing a lottery system where rather than having everybody line up, because because it takes years for these people to actually receive a voucher once they apply. Uh, for example, we can only service between 150 to 200 applicants a year. And so if we have 2,500. By the time we come to number 2,000, it'll be over 10 years possibly. And so we don't want to, raise the hopes of people in that regard, because everybody that's in that lineup is hoping that, they'll be next. But it's going to be a while before they will be next. And the lottery system, I think, would assist these individuals from, not having that kind of long-term hope. In other words, if we put everybody that's eligible into a lottery bin and pull out only 200 or 300, those are the 200 or 300 that we will service for that particular year. Then everybody else knows that that's it. They can go and try to find housing on their own if they so desire, or wait until the next period again when we will have another lottery. So every year we will be doing this so that people that participate and get selected will know that they will be serviced within that particular year, and the others will just wait until the next year, rather than the current system where people that are lined up, if you're number 2,000 or 2,400, it'll be more than 10 years before we reach your application. So it's not fair to these people for them to have this kind of hope, and so we want to eliminate that. And so we're looking at that, and we're going to be developing a policy and a program approach on that, so that we can probably implement it sometime maybe in 2015 calendar year. So that's one of the highlights of what we're addressing up there. Otherwise, it's kind of business as usual. We just finished our audit. We've had our meeting with the auditor already, and he's given us some areas that we just need to work on. Not so much really in our operational side as it is in our administration side, in trying to match the way we report things to HUD and the way things are being reported to the board and the way things are being reported to other entities such as your committee. And so we're trying to see we can just do it once and then everybody gets the same information, rather than bringing in the information and then piecing it all out to make all these different reports. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that, and we're trying to improve the efficiency of that. So those were some of the things that came out of the audit report, prior to the conclusion of putting the financial statements together for, is it fiscal year 2013, right? So we're addressing all of that. We just finished our insurance program, Madam Chair. We have been paying over $200,000 a year, and actually more than that, I think, in previous years. $250,000 in premiums on an annual basis. We've never evaluated the assets of GURA, so we went through a whole program in 2013 to evaluate the assets. It took took about a year actually to put that whole program together, and we put out the RFP and made the award before the end of April, and we saved $162,000 in premium costs to GURA, and we have now a more comprehensive asset database. So that $162,000 can be used elsewhere. The consulting work cost us about $35,000, but it's finished. It's a one-time expense. And so every year now we're going to be realizing at least $162,000 of savings. In previous years, we have been paying more than we probably should have. So that's another cost saving that we're going to use positively in other areas of GURA. And so far, our staffing plan has been pretty much okay as far as meeting the challenges and needs of GURA. We still have some areas that we need to improve on. I think with the lottery system, for example, we will find that our staff will be much more efficient and effective in fulfilling their duties, because they won't have to worry about 2,000, 3,000 applications now. It'll be just 200 to 300, and so we can really work very well with these applicants to make sure that they get the best housing that's necessary for their families. And that's pretty much what we've been working on these past months, maybe this past year as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Beneventi, any thoughts on?
most of what Mike and I are working on is top secret. So if we tell you now, we have to shoot you. But you know, I mentioned in my testimony that we're working on building model homes. Hopefully, tomorrow will be submission day. The contractors are coming in, putting in their proposals, and we're going to look at it. And that's the biggest thing we're working on right now. But there's a lot of other things that are still in the you know, in the back burner. And we're excited with most of the things that we can do up to the end of this year. But whatever we can't do, Mike and I promise to be back January, February, and continue doing what we do. And the partnership that we have with Gura is really wonderful. I don't know, everything that we've done, we've really done together, and Gura plays a big role. Sometimes they don't want to brag about it, but I help them a lot in talking about the projects that they funded and things like that. We do have many serious problems when it comes to homelessness that we're going to have to come back to this legislature maybe a few more times to see if you can help us solve it. But you see more people out in the streets. We see more people losing their jobs and maybe not having a place to stay because of that. We're trying to pick up wherever Gura has left off, but it's not that easy because we're not as well funded as they are. The reason why we went to this alternative building system is because it becomes less expensive. And you can buy a house now or in the next few months almost as much as a car you would spend on a car, paying maybe nothing more than $80-some a month for mortgage payments. And to me, that's a game changer, and we're going to do that. Mike and I share a lot of our experiences, and you know, with that comes out some products that have been completed already. We can list a lot that we've done, but you know all of them because you've been invited to all the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking. But you know, we continue to be excited about what we want to do. But it's going to have to take some serious look at by the legislature too because of the funding source. And we've been proposing several creative funding sources. So we'll see where it takes us.
Thank you, Mr. Benti. And with that being said, I think with the collaboration, and more importantly, I know that the resources comes from different areas. For those listening, Gura is 100% federally funded, with the exception of this program that you're asking for custodialship on. Guam Housing Works is a corporation that deals with getting their financing from interest and other programs that they have, which is not federally funded for the most part, unless
Right.
there's that collaboration that we've been able to have turned abandoned houses into sustainable living houses today. And we've continued, with that being said, from the both of you, and bringing at least the projects and sneak previews to the forefront. It is a way for us to continue as oversight chair to see what creativity we can do to step outside the box to find those resources needed. And I know that with the Affordable Housing Coordinating Council, they've continued to come to this body to ask for funds. It may not be easy. It may be difficult, especially having to tap into working with all those outside of the housing industry, but it's something that we all need to share in. And I want to share with you as oversight chair that it's important that I look at all opportunities and all angles, and I will continue to commit to have that commitment for the both of you. With that being said, I will, unless there's another comment, would you like, okay. With that being said, I will call bill number 327 publicly heard. Again, if anyone wishes to send written testimony to our office, they can do so by sending it to 155 Hessler Place, Hagatna, Guam, 96910, or they can send it via email at senator@tinamuñabarnes.com or through facsimile at 472-3400. My staff is telling me to speak slower, but it's almost lunch. I want to thank all of you and to the board members here that have come this morning. Thank you, and Duncan Masi for coming. Truly appreciate it. You have a wonderful afternoon. This committee is now adjourned. Sana Masi. Thank you, guys. I was just trying to help this man.